She's at a place in her life where peace is a priority and negativity cannot exist. She's no longer matching energy. She's simply removing herself from any situation that doesn't vibrate her soul. So if you start moving funny, she's moving on.
What's up, my Fina love, Sisters Fina D, coming to you all from Fina Team and News.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
Faking everything. Explain to me why you have a chairlift in your house. Is it to help with the old white men going up to your bedroom?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Damn. I'm sorry.
Why else would somebody have a chairlift in their house? This 30s, well, now she's 50, but why would Why would she say that?
Hell no. Hell no.
Faking everything. Where's the house that she was building?
I was building a house, but not building it now. You know, I had a lot of bad things happen.
Did you catch the white?
Chateau, she can't pay. The air mattress comment, she's screaming at me as if I sliced the air mattress that she's been sleeping on for the last 4 years. Classic Real Housewives of Atlanta TV right there. All of those things were good TV, amazing TV, awesome TV, fun shade. Sheree got dragged for years, and yet you were building a house, the deal fell through, and production just conveniently moved on. Nothing, no story about it. Imagine Kenya Moore bragging about building a house and then crickets. Oh, they were going to dig deep. Why you don't have the house anymore? Is it because you're broke? The way how they drag Sheree for years. That's how Chateau She Can't Pay was born. And y'all know I'm just doing these videos for all of you, but this is nothing new. I've been saying this for years about Bravo, but let's continue.
It ain't making sense. The math ain't mathing.
2 plus 2 equals 6. And let me tell you why it equals 6. Because look at this. There are 2 2's. So therefore, there is an additional 2 that no one talks about because the government.
And everybody can see it. In fact, so many comments are like, who is she blowing on production? What is happening?
Kenya.
No, it's the truth. The money cannot be verified. The dates cannot be verified. The timelines cannot be verified.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Today drained me.
Baby, not only did Kenya Moore drain Marlo, delusional, miserable Marlo Hampton yesterday, she snatched the little edges and the last edges she had left, and that's why I have more edges next to the image from the Instagram live she did when she went to Turkey for her hair transplant. Baby, she even had Carlos King speechless and gagging, okay? When I tell you Kenya Moore mopped the floor with that witch, oh my goodness.
Then you over here chasing me around restaurants that got conveniently cut out.
This part been going on for a while, and I think I reposted an older video segment a few days ago when Portia Williams admitted on Instagram Live that she went to Bravo and asked them to remove an entire scene or an entire episode because it did not make her, look like a good person or show her in a good light, but yet they left the scene of Kenya Moore questioning her activism while they removed her scene that led to Kenya asking that question. There was another year where Nene attempted to spit on Kenya, and when Kenya was doing interviews, she said she didn't spit on me, she tried to. And Nene went in interviews with so much confidence, you will not be seeing any scenes or video of me attempting to spit on Kenya. However, if I did, she deserved it. And Nene was so confident in that because for years, the editor been doing bias editing and cutting out scenes because Kenya was and is their villain. So even though people would do things to her, they would try to make it look like it was warranted because Kenya did something to provoke them, when it was the other way around. No one is saying Kenya Moore is a saint, but production was done with Nene around this time. So they did show her attempting to spit on Kenya. They did show her pulling the producer's shirt. They did show all of that. The only place where they protected her, allegedly, Candy said that one of the producers had to go to the hospital because she hit him in his mouth and knocked his tooth out. We didn't see that. Okay, so production did protect her on that. And countless of scenes and other situations that will be here for hours if I list all of them. Or Bravo being so quick with the flashbacks as it relates to Kenya Moore. But then when it comes to flashing back to the other people doing her wrong to connect the dots, it's crickets. Production is so dumb this year and this season and last season, but this year it's worse that when Cloutney, yes, the desperate one that wants clout, her, Courtyard, when she said that Kenya falling was karma, and production put this montage together to prove Kenya's dark and ugly ways, they included Kenya opening her door because miserable, desperate, below the belt Marlo kicked her door while her daughter was sleeping. That is supposed to make us say, oh yeah, Kenya is mean. No, actually Kenya was supported in that, because that behavior is not acceptable. And for production to include that moment of Kenya opening her door and screaming as a moment to vindicate Courtney's karma comment, I'm like, how dumb do you have to be to put in a scene where someone is reacting to someone trying to kick in their door when their daughter is sleeping and jumped up and was scared? Really? Who are these people? Fire all of them.
Then you're over here chasing me around restaurants that got conveniently cut out. Group scenes, all kind of scenes of mine conveniently got cut out. Storylines of mine got cut out. But somehow an angel with foster care scene turns up and that makes it lie. You're so soft and gentle now all of a sudden. You're so pink inside.
No one is saying that people do not have the ability to change. But what makes a situation real is if you can say, look, yes, I do go and I help the foster care community. I do give back. I do have my charities and all of that. But I'm still a work in progress because I was just chasing Kenya Moore around restaurants. In a production, you show that. You show that this ex-con still has certain behavior in her, and that's why she's in therapy and she's working on herself, and there are certain things that still triggers her. That's real. You show that real part of her where people that are looking up to her can say, you know what, she is still a work in progress. You do not protect her over a Kenya Moore. You do not chop up all of Kenya Moore successful and amazing scenes to protect an ex-con who's pretending that she's changed, but she's not. This desperation to prove that you all made the best decision by giving her a peach will never work. It's not working. It's not working, and y'all getting dragged so badly. Like some of you have your comment section limited and your pages are private on social media. That's how bad the dragging is. It will never work. I don't care how you try to put a lipstick on a pig, okay? Still one. Stop it. It will never work. She is who she is. Does that mean that she doesn't have a good side to her? No, I'm sure she have a good side to her and is an amazing person to the people she wants to be amazing to, but also show the other side of her. And that's the reason why you all are getting dragged. And as a producer, if you cannot be professional, if you cannot be fair, if you're coming on being obsessed with some of the cast, so you are over here playing favoritism, This is not the job for you. When Kenya Moore said, Carlos King and I are real friends, when Carlos said Kenya came to a funeral for someone so close to me that passed away, when they talked about their friendship, most of you couldn't tell because some of Kenya Moore's worst seasons on The Real Housewives of Atlanta were when he was an executive producer. He did not protect her. He did not cut out scenes and say, okay, the bias editing over here against Kenya is too much, so let's go ahead and fix this. She's my girl, she's my friend, so I'm going to look out for her. Absolutely not. He did not.
No matter what I do, I was never protected. And that makes me fucking angry as a housewife. I was never protected. I was always the one that everybody came for. Production was like, we don't GAF. And I got all the smoke. And
that smoke is the reason why people assumed that Kenya Moore was and is the villain. But she's not. You are not going to have the entire cast and the host at times coming at me and you expect me to just sit in the corner and cry. No, I'm going to stand up and defend myself, and that she did. We all saw this when someone pulled her hair and the entire cast, except one person, ran to that person's side and not the woman who got assaulted. We've seen this over and over again. We witnessed the host try to blame her for the reason why that happened. We have seen the disgusting things that they've done to this woman over and over again. And you all don't expect her to defend herself. And then Bravo take those moments and flip it around and say she's the villain. No, she's just someone defending herself. Don't come for me unless I send for you. And I was watching this like, oh, hell no. I have to say something. Absolutely not. I have to do something and say something. Even if I do not have that major impact, I still have to do my part because I can see through production and what's going on here, and it's not fair. And then I started talking about Kenya and defending her. And now it's like, oh, we see the light. Kenya, we're sorry. It's like it's always been there, but people were just blinded by Bravo bias editing. But I didn't buy it. And so I've been defending her for years, doing my part to help protect her. And it's so sad that even now the production would choose to protect an ex-con instead of saying you need help and this behavior allegedly is not cool and we can't have you around here on the show if you're going to continue to exhibit these behavior. Why are you chasing her around a restaurant? Why are you being aggressive? We don't want you here if you're going to keep doing that. You're here because we thought you changed, but you go ahead and you cut that out and you protect her, but then pretend like Kenya Moore is this villain and trying to put her in this role. And it's like, it's disgusting. Don't do this job if you're going to continue to do things like that. And for Andy Cohen and the rest of them to sit back and accept this behavior, I'm not going to put their picture on the screen. The executive producer is black. And then there are two black women who are also a part of the editing and storytelling and all of that, okay? One of them, I think she makes, there's black people around. So you can't put all the blame on Andy and the other people over there when our own people are doing things like this.
Did Marlo Hampton single-handedly ruin the past 2 seasons of The Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Child, would you get out of my head? Honestly, I don't even have to think about that question. It is a yes. When you start coming for somebody who is 10 years a star, that's a problem. That's a problem. That is a problem. I feel like the desperation from her reeks. And because she needs that peach. I think the power is when you don't need it.
Now, that's a word. The power is when you don't need it.
I think that Marlo is the quintessential example of why you do not make a friend of the show a housewife. I think it was a horrible mistake.
A mistake they're trying to prove wasn't a mistake, and that's the reason why they're going above and beyond for her, doing all of these things at the reunion. I was like, what is this? The entire reunion was this sob story, hot mess. Like I said earlier, it's never going to work, so give it up.
Don't activate me, Carlos, because
well, somebody has to activate you because you're not activated on this boring ass season I'm watching.
I'm not.
And when she attempted to get activated and called out to producers and basically said everything I've been saying, you all are ruining the show, bias editing, sabotaging the show, all of that. What did they do? Of course, cut it out to me. But I have a separate video coming out about that, all of the reactions and everything, and a certain person getting dragged. All of that is coming up in the next video. So I'm going to leave that part alone and move forward.
So how can I shine if you keep dimming my light?
How can I shine if you keep dimming my light? Come on, deaconess, prophetess, and first lady Moore. That's a word. That's a word.
There's so many supporting footage to show the trajectory, which is why I would say you will go down in history as the most unappreciated housewife. You have given so much to that show. Sweet 16 is next season. Who is Kenya Moore's wish list if this was More Vision Media producing the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Who would Kenya Moore like to play with on the Sweet 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
You know, listen, I want to play with anyone that is going to be good, authentic TV. Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. Because y'all are the same people that asked for Marlo to have a peach. And look where we are now. Be very careful. Be very careful.
One of her best interviews. I will be back with part 2 and part 3. So we're not done. But Kenya, you did that. I'm so proud of you. We appreciate you. We know your worth. You are more than enough, queen. And we will continue to support you, whether it's you staying over there on Bravo, as some of us are hanging by a thread because we can't stand them, but we still holding on, supporting you, or wherever else you go. We got you. Wishing all of you well. Thank you all for also subscribing to my YouTube members only. The link is in the description below. I'm wishing all of you well again, and take care.
My loves, thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.